It's recording.
It's recording?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It has been recording since you said, how many chins do I have?
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Have fun.
Thank you.
I'm gonna have a bag of chips.
Well,
Great, I lost my place in the movie.
this is a vlog I've been wanting to do for a while. I wasn't sure how to go about it, so I decided to think about it for a while. Let's just start off with, nobody wants to be fat. Nobody wakes up every day and thinks to themselves, gosh, what can I do to be fat today or stay fat today? When I've always been a bigger person, even since I was little. I remember people would make fun of me and they would say, my mom would tell me, you're just chubby. I'm already upset. So, nobody wants to be fat. Nobody wants to struggle with their weight at all. Everybody wishes that, they could go on a 2,000 calorie diet and maintain their weight. But for some of us, that's not the case. Now, I'm not to say that I don't like treats, because who doesn't? But my journey with PCOS started off probably before I even knew about it. Had the inkling. I've always been a bigger baby. I've always been bigger. I've always been chubby. Some of my first memories are, them putting powder between my legs because my legs were so chubby they would rub together and cause a rash. Or being told to suck it in, as we're trying on clothes, or finding clothes that fit me because I was bigger and they didn't make plus sizes for children then in the 80s. So those are some of my memories. I have some photos here of when I was little, and you guys are I'm going to put them into the vlog. I'm going to impose them in here, but I have a picture of me as a brownie when I was a Girl Scout. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to put it in here. It's me, and I'm got a little double chin, and this little girl was made fun of so much. Teased and called names, and so I've always been on a diet. My whole life I've been on a diet of some kind. I remember, my mother's telling stories of when I was little, and she would put me to bed and I'd say, Mom, I'm hungry. And I was a little girl. I was probably, 4 or 5. And she'd be like, I know, honey, but you've already had your dinner. But it was so small. I was hungry. And I don't know if you know about PCOS, but there's a chemical in the brain that it doesn't tell you when you're full. I've always been chubby. Some of my first memories are, them putting powder between my legs because my legs were so chubby they would rub together and cause a rash. Or being told to suck it in, as we're trying on clothes, or finding clothes that fit me because I was bigger and they didn't make plus sizes for children then in the 80s. So those are some of my memories. I have some photos here of when I was little, and you guys are I'm going to put them into the vlog. I'm going to impose them in here, but I have a picture of me as a brownie when I was a Girl Scout. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to put it in here. It's me, and I'm got a little double chin, and this little girl was made fun of so much. Teased and called names, and so I've always been on a diet. My whole life I've been on a diet of some kind. I remember, my mother's telling stories of when I was little, and she would put me to bed and I'd say, Mom, I'm hungry. And I was a little girl. I was probably, 4 or 5. And she'd be like, I know, honey, but you've already had your dinner. But it was so small. I was hungry. And I don't know if you know about PCOS, but there's a chemical in the brain that it doesn't tell you when you're full. So, you know, sometimes it might look like you're overeating, but your brain doesn't know that you're full, that you're satisfied, because you're hungry. Or you might, you know, eat and then 2 hours later you're hungry again. So that's, you know, it's very frustrating, you know, to learn how to not give in to that. And as a child, you know, you want to feed your children when they're hungry. You don't want to feed them crap. And I'm not saying I wasn't fed crap. I was always fed fruits and vegetables and yogurt and things that were healthy because I was on a diet. Well, obviously my weight issues continued forever. I mean, I remember how girls would say how big my butt was, you know, in comparison to theirs, and it hurt my feelings so much. But when I was in junior high, my doctor told my mother I shouldn't have gained so much weight, and it shouldn't be this much of a struggle all the time to lose weight. And he had seen someone like myself, and it was a girl, and he decided I needed to go to an endocrinologist. I remember I was like 11 or 12, and I was sitting in the doctor's office, and he took my mother out, and they were talking for about, I don't know, felt like forever. Probably was only 10 to 15 minutes. And she came back in and she had tears running down her face. And she was like, we're gonna go take you to a different doctor, a new doctor, because your doctor here thinks that there's something that, you know, we can help and can help with your weight. And she was telling me all the things that I would be able to do because I lost weight. I would be able to be in show choirs, and I would be able to do things that all the other girls did because I lost weight. And I remember on the ride home, I felt so guilty because I had been, once in a while, during our break, we were able to buy snacks at school, and my best friend and I, we would share a donut. And I felt so guilty about sharing a donut with her, breaking it in half, because food was so, I mean, I would ask my mother for if I could have snacks. I every time I ever ate, I had to ask somebody for permission. There was no going into the cupboard and getting something when you're hungry. You always ask first. And I didn't realize that, you know, that half a donut shouldn't have made me gain weight, but it did. So, forgive me. So we went to my first visit with an endocrinologist. And at the time, it was 97 or so. I remember I was in middle school. About 90, it was in 97. And in 97, PCOS was unheard of for the most part. You know, it wasn't in your everyday vocabulary. There was no Pinterest board for it. So my endocrinologist did some blood work, looked at me, you know, looked at my neck, the dark spots on my elbows, how dry they were, my face, my hair, and he determined that I had Harian syndrome, which was something where he explained to me that I would always have the risk of diabetes, that I would have to live like a diabetic, and I was to live a sugar-free pretty much lifestyle. And, you know, heart disease and was very possible. So I started on this diet, and I lost some weight, and I was about 14, I think, and I probably started around the 20, and things were good. And then high school happened, and I gained some more weight, And I got tired of being on a diet all the time. And working out is hard for a teenager, I found out. What are you doing, Zoe?
I was brushing my hair.
I got very tired of being overweight. I was probably a size 24. And I developed bulimia. And then I got tired of throwing up, so I just stopped eating. And I got down to a size, I want to say 6 or 8, and I looked very sick, and I had to go to the doctors, and I was able to get past that, and I gained some weight. And all this time, and knowing I have Herring syndrome, and I stopped going to the endocrinologist. Fast forward, I get pregnant, have Zoe, and continue a weight gain, weight loss, weight gain, weight loss. In 2008, I was probably up to a size 24, 26 again, and decided to do a crash diet and worked out and got down to a size 10. Lost over 100 pounds, but any time I've ever lost weight, it's because I was starving myself, which means I ate probably once a day, and I kept my calories from, anywhere from 400 to 700 a day, and I was running 5 to 6 miles a day. Anytime I've ever lost weight, it's because my calories have been kept to about 500 calories a day. And that's hard to do, and I'm sure I've done some real damage to my body, but that's hard. Anytime I've ever gained weight, it's because I'm eating anywhere between 1,200 calories to 1,800 calories a day, and that's when I gain weight, and that's just eating like anybody else, So anytime I've ever lost weight, that's happened. And then, I got into law enforcement, and the pressure to stay fit was is high, being able to pass the physical things. And, I worked out a lot. But then I gained weight again because I was in a patrol car. And it's hard to work out and run 6 miles a day when working rotating shifts. So I gained weight. And, the guys eat, and I would go eat with them, and I try to eat as healthy as possible, but you still gain weight because it's over 1,000 calories a day. So then I went on another crash diet, and I only ate once a day, or I didn't eat at all that day, and I lost a significant amount of weight again, to the point where I was about a size 8. But like I said, I only ate in front of people, so they could see me eat. But to lose that kind of weight, it's hard. It takes a lot of willpower, and during this time I suffered with depression and high anxiety. And I got out of law enforcement, and I stayed fit for the most part, and I worked out, but I was slowly gaining weight. Slowly. And I work out, and then I got to the point where I got tired of getting up early in the morning. So my workouts went from running 5 miles a day to running 3 miles a day. And then it went to walking, every day. Then it went to 3 times a week. And then, then it kind of turns into whenever I feel like it. So my weight has continuously gone up. But there's no way that I should have gained, or I should have gone from a size 10 to the size I am now, within a year and a half. And I got tired. And some people came to other people I know, and then they came to me and said, we need to lose weight, or let's try to eat healthier. And I got tired of people thinking that I wanted to be this way. So I had enough, and I decided that I was going to go to an endocrinologist. And my endocrinologist asked me certain questions. I told her about the Herring syndrome. She looked at my face, the hair, because PCOS, you get some facial hair that you're not exactly proud of. Nobody wants a beard, okay, especially if you're a female. oh, I'm sorry, if you're a man, you want a beard, but if you're female, you don't. You know, she looked at my body type. She asked about my menstrual cycle when I had it, because I would have periods for 3 weeks at a time. And, you know, she asked about if I've had miscarriages, my heritage, my culture, you know, if I'm Hispanic, because I am. So, she diagnosed me with PCOS, and so I've been battling with my weight. She's like, she said, we're gonna put you on metformin, and twice a day. And I said, okay. And the good news is I really didn't gain anything. I didn't lose anything from March until June. But when I went back this last time, she said, you have to lose weight, or we're putting you on shots. And I said, okay. And nobody really in this weight issue, no one wants to be fat. And, you know, it's embarrassing to go from, you know, so now I have to lose weight again. And don't get me wrong, when this weight, I don't like being this weight. I don't feel comfortable with this weight, but my body is like, what's up? We're going to stay this weight. It's embarrassing to go places and have people who remember me skinny and only knew me as skinny, and now it's like they think that I don't care and that I want to be this way when I don't. It makes me not want to go outside sometimes. It makes me want to stay in. It makes me not want to go see people because I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that I have no control sometimes, and that self-discipline for me means not eating when I'm hungry. It means something completely different. I don't eat fast food all the time. I don't overeat a lot. Sometimes I do. Yeah. I'm depressed. Okay. It makes me wonder if people are embarrassed of me. It makes me mad. The last thing that I want to do is be fat. But I gotta think of all the great things that I've been blessed with. You know, I have a great personality. I can find humor in everything. Pretty much everything. I have a healthy child who's intelligent. The people I surround myself with are good people. But it doesn't change the fact that it still hurts my feelings when people say things that aren't nice. So I'm back to working out 5 days a week, and I've decided I'm going to do it in the evening because I don't like to get up in the early morning anymore. And I'm not going to starve myself anymore. I'm not. I refuse to. I'm going to eat what I like within reason. I'm going to meal prep. I'm going to do my best to be as healthy as possible. And I'm going to lose weight. Sometimes I wish that it just wasn't so hard, and that people would educate themselves about PCOS and the signs of it. You know, I don't like having facial hair. It sucks. You know, I don't like looking like I have sideburns. I don't like any of this. But I've decided that I'm going to help those who have no voice on it and are frustrated and think that they're the only ones with this. I'm going to let them know that they're not alone. And that no one wants to be fat. Funny things about PCOS I've learned is there's hormone imbalances. So your testosterone's off sometimes. You could be more tired. You're going to want to sleep more because you're exhausted. Or you could have sleep apnea. You have trouble sleeping. I have trouble sleeping sometimes. You know, it's all correlated. It's not because I just want to be fat. So, thank you for watching. This will be the first one of these vlogs. I'll be sharing more of my PCOS struggle, I guess you want to call it that, PCOS journey, because it is a life sentence apparently. I'm gonna record my progress, or not progress. I'm going to document it, because when I was told it's PCOS and not Harian syndrome, I cried. Because it was nice to know that I'm not crazy. That I wasn't crazy. And that there was a reason for it all. So with that being said, I'm going to get Zoe. We're going to go out. I'm going to edit this vlog later. And this will be the first one of many. So in the comments below, if you have PCOS, if you've struggled with your weight your entire life, because I'm going to show you pictures of me, let me know. Reach out to me. I'm going to put my link to my Facebook group. Go ahead and become a member of that. Message me on Facebook. You know, let me know your struggle. You know, you're not alone. You don't have to feel that you are, because this whole time I thought I was, and I'm not. So comment, like, share, join me, because together we can give each other support. Because the one thing that women don't do enough is lift each other up. And I want to do that for everyone that wants to be lifted up or wants encouragement. So, I will see you later. And I hope that this has been somewhat helpful for someone out there besides myself. Thank you.